Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the A series to help athletes with their top end running mechanics. First drill we have up is the A march. During the A march, it is a slow, controlled drill. I want to emphasize on athletes driving their knee up and toe up. Top of the thigh board as well as the sole of the foot should be parallel to the ground. Instruct athletes to strike the ball of their foot underneath their hips whenever their foot strikes the ground. The foot strike is a violent and forceful strike into the ground, almost propelling the body upward in a motion. Heavy emphasis on great knee drive, driving the knee forward down the field or down the track as well. Athletes should have their shoulders, hips, and foot that's on the ground all in a straight line. To help maintain this tall, upright posture, you can tell athletes to engage their core to make sure that there is no bending and rounding in the lower back. The next drill that we have is the A hop. This is going to be a more violent and more explosive version of the A march. This differs from the A march because during the A march, you will always have one foot on the ground at a time. There will be a brief moment in time where you have both feet on the ground during the A march. During the A hop, however, there will be a brief moment in time where you do not have a single foot on the ground and your entire body will be in midair. There is still the same emphasis of striking with the ball of the foot underneath the person's hip and driving the knee up and toe up. Tell athletes to emphasize great arm movement and instruct athletes to move at the shoulder rather than the elbow. I always like to instruct my athletes to move their thumb from their cheek to their hip pocket to emphasize a running motion during this drill. Up next, we have the A pop. During this drill, one foot will remain up at the top of each rep. Here, for example, is A pop right leg because my right leg is staying up at the top of every rep. Tell athletes that whenever they bring the off leg up, that it needs to get as high as the emphasis leg and not drag on the ground. The knee drop from both legs need to result in the knee being at the hip crease or higher. Here, emphasize to athletes that we are still looking for an upright posture with their shoulder, hip, and ankle all in a straight line. Make sure that you work A pop both right side and left side to make sure that athletes are getting symmetry in their movements. Next on the list is 1-2 pause. Here, athletes are going to have 3 ground contacts and foot transitions before pausing for about half a second to a full second with one knee driving up and one foot driving on the ground with their foot underneath their hip. Tell athletes to emphasize the pause phase and to really drive their up leg knee up as well as their down leg foot into the ground to mimic the vertical force into the ground that is needed for optimal maximum velocity sprinting. Next up on the list is 3 skip. Tell athletes that they should be striking the ground with the ball of their foot on the foot that is doing the skipping before the transition. Emphasize to athletes to not cover too much ground during the skipping phase in the middle. We want athletes to get as many reps in a given distance as possible. Again, looking for athletes here to have a violent foot striking to the ground with their foot striking underneath their hips, athletes having a tall upright posture in their torso, and having great arm movement at the shoulder and not the elbow. Next up, we have boom boom. Boom booms are a combination of the 3 skip and the A pop drills from earlier. All of the points of emphasis from both drills will apply here. The knee drive of the off leg needs to get to hip level just like the knee drive of the on leg. And athletes are not supposed to cover a lot of ground with the 3 skips in the middle of the foot transitions. Since it is A pop in nature, you will need to do both a right side and left side of this drill. Lastly, in the A series, we have regressions for the A hop, A pop, and 1-2 pause. We can call these drills wall runs. Athletes are going to lean on the wall, having their hands braced in front of them and have their shoulder, hip, and ankle of the foot that is down all in a line. Here, athletes can perform either the A hop, A pop, or the 1-2 pause drills. These drills are for athletes who are either new or having a hard time moving forward being able to do the A series. We can move them to a wall and we can still work on the top end running mechanics that we get out of the A series. Now they're going to be stationary and still be able to get good work in. Still want to emphasize having a tall torso running posture as well as driving the knees up to hip level and striking with the ball of the foot underneath the person's hip.